Hello, 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 my beautiful people. My name is Riri Okoye, your happiness coach, and my mission is always to transform lives and make the world a happier place. Now, on today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the P.E.R.M.A model. Stay with me. The P.E.R.M.A model is an acronym, and I'm going to go through each acronym and introduce some concepts that you may or may not have already known. And I'm hoping, my aim is that when I go through these concepts using this P.E.R.M.A acronym, you will use them and this will help you to be a happier human being. So let's get with it. The first one is P. And what do you think P stands for as a happiness coach? Positive emotions. Yes, positive emotions. And it's something that I really practice. And it's something that I became more intentional about starting from about 2016. In 2016, my dearest father went to sleep and he never woke up. And that transformed my life because it was a rude awakening, but it made me think to myself, wow, is this how life is? You know, you can just be going about your business, thinking to yourself that you've got time and you go to sleep and you don't wake up. You know, and during that season, because I'm a daddy's girl, a lot of people were worried. They were like, oh my God, Rita, what's she going to do? How's she going to handle this? People were concerned about me. But I thought about my dad. And for anybody that knows my dad, you know that my dad is a positive person. He was full of life, full of energy. And I thought to myself, what is the best way to keep that legacy up as Austin's daughter? And as Austin's daughter, I thought to myself, the only way to keep that up is to reflect who my father was. And my father was, as I say, very positive, you know, smiling most of the time, people's person. And so, you know, I've got those personality traits too, but I'm intentional about it. So positive energy is something that you want to focus on more. I mean, things happen. There are all sorts of emotions that we all go through, and they are natural. It's natural to be sad. It's natural to, you know, to feel down. It's natural, but it's not natural to stay down. You can try tactics, different things to make you feel positive. And we're going to be talking about the type of things that you can do and the type of things that I do to make me stay positive. Now, the next thing, which actually helps me to be positive, is the E for engagement or flow. And that is where, you know, because before I go on to it, I just want to say that there's a lot of distractions these days, especially with social media, with WhatsApp. It's just so many things are just taking away your attention, and it's difficult to just stay in the flow, in engagement, because of so many distractions. So what this engagement means is that you're just actually focused on something, and that something is something that gives you joy. That is something that you're happy about. You know, for example, with me at work, we have a creative hub in the corner where you can do paint, you can do art, you can do craft, you know, and I go there. When I'm there, I'm in the flow. There's no distractions and I just enjoy myself. We also actually have yoga that happens that I want to try and do more of, you know, in the months to come. But these are things in my office that they have put so that you can be in that engagement or flow. So what is it? What are the things that you like to do? Do you like to draw? Do you like to listen to music? And you're just focused on that thing. Do you like to play an instrument? All sorts of things that you can do where there are just no distractions and you're just happy being in that flow. It's really good for your mental well-being and it will really help you to stay in that positive zone. Okay? The next thing that will help you to stay in that positive zone is relationships. And relationships is the R in the P.E.R.M.A model, relationships. And if anybody knows me well, you know that relationships are so important to me. Studies have shown, I've said this a lot of times on my podcast, that studies show that people actually live longer when they have wholesome, loving relationships. And these loving relationships don't just have to be family. They can also be friends, you know. But the thing about relationships is that you have to be intentional. And I'm really intentional about relationships because relationships are important to me. And what do? I host dinners, I invite people around, or we meet out with people. When people invite me to their events, I tend to go. All of these things are intentional because relationships are important to me, So you got to ask yourself, and I encourage you, I'm not saying that you have to have so many friends, but I'm encouraging you to be more intentional about relationships, about hanging around with people. You don't have to spend a fortune to invite people around, And if you have genuine friends, whatever you serve them with, they will just be happy to be there. That has been my story, So one thing I would say about relationships is that their energies have to match, And in life, it's just what life is. Your energy is not going to match everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. You are not going to like everybody. Or you're not going to like everybody. So it's not by force. You can't force relationships. You can't force the energy. The energy has to flow naturally, okay? I mean, there are people that I met in my, younger years, and today we're not bestos. We don't hang out. It's all part of life. They were a season in my life. I have some new people now. I still have some people from back in the day, but with life, you're just keep it moving. And I have people now in my life. I hope that they're lifelong friends, but right now we are enjoying each other's company. So you've got to be intentional about meeting people. You've got to be intentional about going out there and having these relationships. And, sometimes it may just be family. If you think to yourself, I haven't really met any of those friends, you can't force these things. But if you've got family, make time out for your family. But relationships are important for our emotional and mental well-being. Okay? Meaning and purpose. We can spend our lives doing so many things that we're doing, but if we don't have meaning and purpose in what we do, you're going to find yourself not being happy or not being fulfilled, because it's just not something that's giving you purpose. And let's take, for example, jobs. Some people just work for the money. It's not about them. They don't like what they do. And you find that some of these people, they get burnt out and they end up quitting their job because it's not fulfilling them. And not every job is going to give you fulfillment and purpose, but find a job that you like at least 80% of the time, And so for me as an event manager, it's really connected to who I am. It's connected to me, my personality as a people's person, as a person that, gets energy from being around people. You can imagine if I was on the opposite spectrum of that, I wouldn't want to be an event planner. But my job and the type of thing I do gives me meaning and purpose. Outside of my job, talking to you, sharing things about happiness, helping people to live happier lives, that gives me meaning and purpose. I'm a positive person. I feel like I'm 80% happy. I have my moments. And for the things that I have learned through the years, because I just didn't wake up with this mindset, but for the things I have learned through the years, I'm sharing it with you because I want to, as I said at the beginning, transform lives, make the world a happier place. So sharing this with you and seeing changes in people gives me meaning and gives me purpose. So you've got to think about, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Ask yourself that question. And is it fulfilling you? If it's not fulfilling you, I'm not saying like if your job is not fulfilling you, I'm not saying quit your job, but find other things. Find something that really gives you meaning and purpose. And I think that once you do that, you will find that you'll be happier, you'll be more fulfilled, and you'll be more positive because these are all aligned together. So let me repeat, the P.E.R.M.A. And the final one, I nearly forgot to mention that, is A for accomplishments and achievements. One of the things in life is that we do get fulfillment and happiness when we have achieved a goal. Now, I'm a habitual goal setter. So every end of the year, me and my family, we have our meeting and we talk about our goals, we want to achieve, and we make smart plans to achieve them. So sometimes when you see, you look at me and you think, oh my God, what's happening with Rita? It's actually the smart goals that I have put out and I have taken steps to achieve that has gotten me to where I am. Okay? So it's really important. Even, about 3 years ago, I decided to upskill and I started to get into project management, and I got a certificate from Google. I also went on a course with a company called TriTech, and these skills are so valuable to companies now, And so and it gives me a sense of achievement, and it even increased my earning power just by doing that. So you've got to think to yourself, what can you do to what are you looking to do to upskill, to give you, a sense of purpose and meaning. So look for something that will transform your life and will satisfy you. Okay, so that's another point I want to share. That whole A of accomplishment and achievement is so important in terms of your happiness and your well-being. So your homework: go away today and think about the things that I've talked about. Think about positive emotions. Are you there? What are the things that you can do? Think about engagement. What activities can you get into where you're in that flow and there are no distractions? Think about your relationships this year and think to yourself, okay, I'm going to try and hang out with my friends at least once a month or once every quarter or once a year even, but do something. What about meaning and purpose? What is it that I want to do? How do I want to affect the world? What can I do to make lives, transform lives? And an A for accomplishment. What do I want to do this year? It can be as simple as something like learning to drive. Maybe you don't drive. Maybe that's what you want to do this year. Or it could be something like getting fit, like I'm trying to do, So just think about what you want to achieve this year and put it down and have a SMART goal, and you will see your life turned around. Once again, my name is Riri Okoye, your happiness coach. And if you have got value from this, hit the like button and also put a message in the comment section. Let me know whether this helped you, whether it was useful, and if you've got anything that you want to add to this conversation. And if this was valuable to you, why not go ahead and share it to somebody else? Because guess what? Sharing is caring. Anyway, I hope that you've got value from this, and I look forward to serving you again. Take care and enjoy your weekend. Bye.